Hey there, thanks for listening and welcome to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you're looking to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact, all while staying true to who you are and the people you serve, this is the show for you. I'm Jennifer Tamborski, digital marketing strategist, fractional CMO, and founder of Virtual Marketing Experts. My team and I work with 6- and 7-figure coaches, consultants, and online entrepreneurs who are tired of playing the guru game of one-size-fits-all marketing. They're ready to create a business and marketing strategy that actually builds relationships with their ideal clients, creates massive shifts in their business, and rapidly increases their revenue. As your marketing matchmaker, I'm going to help you find the perfect marketing match for you. This show will teach you how to reach your ideal client, connect with your audience, build that perfect relationship, and generate more revenue. All through a process I like to call dating your ideal client. Now let's go have some fun. Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. Do you ever feel like as the year winds down, the stakes really heat up? Today, we're going to dive into the magic and occasional madness that is the fourth quarter. But first, I want to tell you a quick story. I worked with a client who had some really ambitious goals for her business. Revenue targets that she wasn't quite there yet at the start of the fourth quarter. So she wanted to finish the year really strong and planned this big launch to really hit those numbers. But the thing is launches don't always go as planned, and hers definitely did not. While she did make some sales, it wasn't even close to hitting the goals that she had set. I'm talking not even in the ballpark. And most people would have thrown in the towel at this point and just thrown up their hands and given up. Maybe retreated into those holiday cookies and Netflix for the rest of the year. But this client, she really dug in. Instead, she took a step back, reevaluated her approach, and really honed in on what was most appealing to her ideal clients, what was going to bring them in the door. Then right after the holiday, and I'm talking the day after Christmas, she dove back in. She created another training. This time she was kind of armed with very little prep, but a whole lot of grit. And guess what? She not only hit her original goal, but she laid a solid foundation for absolutely killer New Year. She'd gone from almost giving up to setting herself up for her most profitable quarter ever. The whole moral to this story is never give up. Even if you're not where you want to be right now, you still have time to get there. And that's what this episode is all about, making the most of the fourth quarter. It's often the most profitable time of the year, or it could be the complete opposite. I'm going to show you today how to capitalize on the profitability of the fourth quarter. So, whether you have hit your goals already this year or you're still struggling to hit those goals, this is the episode for you. We're going to make sure that you finish this year out on a high note and armed with strategies and tools and maybe a little extra mindset to make your fourth quarter the best that you've had yet this year. Let's dive in. I want to start with the gold mine that is the fourth quarter for your business. First things first, it's no secret that consumer behavior shifts into high gear as the year draws to a close. And there are a lot of reasons for that, but people are really primed to spend money in the fourth quarter. And not just a little either. We've got holiday shopping. We've got end of year sales popping up everywhere. And don't forget about those folks who are ready to use up the budgets they've already set aside before the new year. Let's start with why that happens. For starters, there are holidays or holiday sales, I should say, like Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Christmas that really create that perfect storm for spending. And people are always out there looking for deals, trying to get gifts. And let's be honest, snag a few treats for themselves while they're at it. Businesses that understand that this spike can really set them up to capture the wave of spending and use promotions and discounts or even exclusive holiday products to draw people in really can capitalize on that spending behavior. Plus, it's not just holiday shopping. A lot of companies have year-end budgets that they're looking to use up, especially in that B2B service or product market. Sometimes they have a use it or lose it mentality when it comes to this budget. And if your ideal audience is those solopreneurs, oftentimes this fourth quarter is when they're looking to set up for next year. So depending on what it is that you're selling, quarter four could actually be incredibly profitable for you. Everyone is in that year-end push mode right now. And there is an urgency to let's get this done, this energy that really makes people want to push forward and get something new in their business. And these are emotions and feelings that they don't often show up like in June in the middle of the year. Business owners are looking at their annual goals. They're seeing what they need to close out the year strong, and they're ready to put in the work to make that happen. Or if it's not possible to make their year-end revenue goals this year, they're looking to set up next year so that it is more successful than this year. It's really a time when everyone from that solopreneur to those big brands is really more aggressively focused on their marketing campaigns. They're pouring all of that energy into the fourth quarter to make a huge splash. And here's where your holiday marketing strategy can really shine. We all know the big dates: Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas. And the importance of getting your promotions lined up well in advance. Having a timely campaign around these events can capture the built-in consumer excitement. And you don't have to wait for those specific events. It all depends on what your product, service, or solution is about. You do need to think about creating a sense of urgency. So whether that's offering bundles or running flash sales, or maybe it's launching something completely new that you haven't opened the doors to yet, you want to build up excitement. And these strategies can really help you amplify your reach and help you stand out from the crowd. Quarter four can really be the perfect opportunity to really harness that consumer spending momentum. You get to leverage the urgency that comes with ending the year strong, both for you and for your audience. And you can also kind of ride that holiday wave to potentially make this quarter incredibly beneficial to your business. Now that we've talked about the opportunity behind quarter four, I want to roll up our sleeves and really start with assessing where you are right now. This step is all about looking back at what you've done so far this year and using those insights to fine-tune your approach for the end of the year. Remember that story I told you at the beginning of that client that's launch didn't quite go as planned. The first thing she did was step back and take a hard look at everything she had done this year to really redesign how she was going to bring in her ideal clients. So the first thing I want you to do is take a hard look at your numbers. I know everybody hates that, but here's the reality. We're getting close to tax season anyway. You need to know your data. So what's your sales data? Are there any specific products, service, or solutions that are really doing well? Or maybe there are some that aren't. And look at your overall marketing. What are your engagement metrics on social media? Which posts or campaigns have gotten the most traction? What message has converted into buyers? All of these things can really help you to understand how to set up a marketing strategy at the end of the year to bring in those customers. I want to avoid getting bogged down in the sea of data. So really focus in on those key metrics that matter in your business. If you're e-commerce, look at your sales and average order value. If you're a service provider, maybe it's customer retention, client feedback, funnel analytics. The goal here is to identify what's worked well so far and where the potential is to dial things up a notch in the fourth quarter. Maybe it's a particular product, service, solution that has been a really big hit. Or perhaps it's an email campaign that was surprisingly effective. Whatever it is, find those wins. Keep them in mind because they're gonna be the clues to really creating a marketing strategy in the fourth quarter that is going to be effective. We're always going to take all of this back to goals. So once you've got a handle on where you stand now, it's time to set some specific, realistic goals for this last quarter. And I know the temptation here is to go big or go home. But let's take a strategic approach instead. What do you actually want to achieve by the end of the year? What is it that's realistic around your business? I am all about going all in and doing everything you can to make every month, every year the best it can be. And if we set goals, if your goal for this year was $1 million and you're currently at, say, $500,000, is it realistic in the next 2 months to be able to get another $500,000? That question comes twofold. One, could you make that many sales? Sure, depending on what you're selling, what your product, service, or solution is. But the second question is, could you fulfill that many sales? It is not just about revenue here. It is about the whole business. Can you do that goal? Is it realistic on both a sales perspective and a fulfillment perspective? The last thing we want to do is oversell and underdeliver. It will make your brand incredibly difficult to continue to grow. By looking at your goals with your overall business objectives, you can really set yourself up for success because you'll have a clear vision of where you want to funnel your energy, which areas you want to focus on, which product, service, or solution. And remember, this isn't about stretching yourself thin. It's about using your resources where they'll be the most impactful. Because we want you to finish the year strong and set you up for a solid next year. Now that you've assessed where you are and set some clear goals, it's time to make that game plan. We always want to have a plan, and I will tell you, if you are planning for Black Friday, that you really want to have everything in place by realistically the 15th of November at the very latest. So if you haven't already made those plans, now's the time to do that. What that really means as far as Black Friday goes is knowing exactly what you're selling, having all of the copy and creatives and process of what you're selling, and then understanding how you're bringing people in to your world during that time. It can be incredibly profitable to run Black Friday ads. It can also be incredibly profitable to have a Black Friday campaign, but only if it is planned out ahead of time. I will tell you right now, if you are trying to run a Black Friday campaign and you haven't started yet, you're already behind the 8 ball.
The holiday season is a great time to get creative with your marketing. People are incredibly festive right now. So lean into that. Start thinking about promotions that'll fit the season. I do a whole training around holiday marketing. And one of the things that I always caution my clients and the people within this training to do or not do is discounts. Creating discounts around Black Friday or around the end of the year makes your business or your customers more likely kind of upset. Let's be honest. If you're waiting for that TV and you know it comes around on Black Friday, you're definitely going to wait for Black Friday if you can possibly wait. And on the other side of that, if you're a service provider and you're selling a program for $1,500, but for Black Friday, you're going to discount it to $500, the people who bought your training at $1,500 are going to be kind of ticked off. So when it comes to pricing around Black Friday or even the holiday season in the fourth quarter in general, we want to make sure that any discount we give is not so large that we're going to tick off the people who have bought from us previously. And in addition to that, that it doesn't undervalue what it is we're giving. So oftentimes I discuss with my clients, and I just had this conversation with a client that's running a Black Friday sale. She has a program. It's a fantastic program. We don't really want to discount it. However, she's got a new product coming out. And so rather than discounting this program, we've decided to offer a bonus of this product in her Black Friday sale. This can really help you to sell more of your program, your product, service, or solution without making it so that your business is cheaper during the holidays. So instead of creating discounts, maybe consider bundles or adding additional products, or maybe you're opening the doors to something brand spanking new that's going to be less expensive for Black Friday only because it's your beta test. Whatever that is, we want to look at it from the perspective of how is my current audience going to react to my Black Friday sale, and how is the new audience going to react to that Black Friday sale. Keep in mind that we want to avoid alienating our current audience because that's where, honestly, our buyer ascension comes from. The other thing we want to do is really focus on optimizing your marketing around the holidays. Social media is a fantastic place to start. So make sure that you're scheduling posts that really build excitement and remind your customers of your business and your products. Use things that are going to capture their attention, whether that's festive imagery or countdowns or sneak peeks that really get them hooked and want to draw in to what you're doing. And then on the email marketing side, make sure that you're sending out emails that really capture their attention. This can be things like themes that are tied into your holiday campaign, or maybe it's really teasers, anticipation emails that are followed up with those exclusive offers. Make sure that you are always reminding your audience of those deadlines. If you are selling for Black Friday, or if this is a year-end push, there needs to be a deadline around it. It will help to increase the urgency, which will then make it more successful. If you're considering running paid ads for any of it, paid ads in this time frame is both a really great way to scale your business and can also lean a little more expensive. I'm actually going to do an episode all around paid ads in the fourth quarter. It's coming up in about 2 or 3 episodes, I think. So I want you to keep in mind that paid ads can definitely be productive. It is not something that you want to launch the week of Black Friday and expect them to work. I had someone come to me once that wanted to do exactly that. She had a program that she wanted to launch for Black Friday. She had a very small budget. And when I say small budget, she had about $500 to spend. And she wanted to do it the week of Black Friday. The problem with this is that ads are more expensive. That budget was never going to hold up. So if you're going to run ads, make sure that you know what budget you have and whether or not that budget is going to be sustainable around this time of year. The other thing I want you to really be aware of is that whole thing that I talked about earlier, which is fulfillment. Make sure that whatever you're doing, you can fulfill. If you are trying to bring on 10 new clients because you're a service-based provider, make sure that you can actually handle 10 clients coming in at one time. If not, we might want to reassess that strategy. If you sell a product, make sure you have the inventory in stock to sell, because oftentimes, especially during the holiday season, people are really pushing to have their products in before the holidays. Now that we've talked about some strategies, I want to also hit on a few of the pitfalls. So, overextending discounts. I already kind of talked about this. It is really tempting to throw massive discounts at everything during the fourth quarter to attract as many customers as possible. But here's the thing. Heavily discounting can quickly eat into your profits. It can also tick off your audience or undervalue your product, service, or solution. If you're slashing prices left and right, you might make a lot of sales, but you could end up with less profit than you'd like. Instead, thinking about adding value without sacrificing your margins. Another thing that I think a lot of business owners often do is ignore their existing customers. One of the biggest mistakes that you make is by focusing only on acquiring new customers and forgetting about the ones that have already bought from you. Remember, existing customers are more likely to buy from you again. And it also costs a whole lot less to market to them. So take some time to nurture those relationships. Maybe look at your business from the perspective of what else can I offer to my existing client base. Maybe create exclusive VIP sales for your customers, or a discount code, or maybe it's some completely new program that they need that you can bring them in the door through. Lastly, I want you to make sure that you have also got a plan for next year. It is super easy to get wrapped up in the fourth quarter. Sometimes so easy that you forget there's a whole new year waiting on the other side. If you pour everything into the fourth quarter without thinking about January, you might end up burned out or running low on inventory or completely booked out. Remember, a strong finish in the fourth quarter can set you up for a solid start in the next year. So think about how you're going to keep things rolling. How can your marketing in the fourth quarter roll into the next year? A sustainable business is one that is also scalable. So make sure that you're not depleting all of your resources or emptying your bank account to try and finish out this fourth quarter strong. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground on making the most out of the fourth quarter. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose one strategy that we covered today and put it into action this week. Maybe it's a holiday bundle or an emailing your existing customers, or even prepping your customers for the rush that's coming in the new year. Give it a shot. Then share your progress with me on social media, on this podcast episode. Tell me how it's going, and let's celebrate your wins together. And if you're struggling to figure out how you want to finish out the year, head over to your Marketing Matchmaker. Sign up for a free strategy session, and let's really dial in that strategy. I promise you will walk away with at least one actionable item to finish out this year strong. That's a wrap for today. Be sure to tune in next time, because I'm gonna dive into surviving the holidays as a business owner. Sometimes our holidays can get the better of us, but there is a way to keep your sanity intact and grow your business. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love if you subscribed, left a review, and shared your thoughts with me. Your feedback really does help this show to keep going and growing. And I always love hearing from you. Until next time, keep pushing. Make the most out of your fourth quarter, and let's finish this year strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.